Hello students, welcome to Lotus High School. This is SR from the Lotus High School. Here we study a chapter in the science subject. The name of the chapter is Acids, Bases and Salts Part 6. In this Part 6, I was explaining few topics. Let's see the topics. Today's topics are uses of nitric acid and uses of base. Already in that previous chapter we had discussed about the uses of hydrochloric acid and uses of sulfuric acid. And here only one topic in that acid is left, that is nitric acid. So today I will discuss the uses of nitric acid and next uses of bases also. See here, first one, uses of nitric acid. First use, here nitric acid is used for preparing fertilizer. That means used in the preparation of fertilizer. Here nitric acid is not only single substance used for making fertilizer. So with that nitric acid, some other substances are used for making the fertilizer, but most probably you are giving importance to that nitric acid. So that's why here the nitric acid is used for preparing the fertilizer. So first use is it is used for preparing fertilizer. Second one, here used for preparing explosives. Here explosives are nothing but bombs. Here that one important explosive is TNT. What is that only? TNT. The full form of TNT is a trinitrotoluene. Most probably, how many different kinds of bombs are there? For making that bombs, definitely they will use that nitric acid. Why? Because it has explosive nature. So that's why here nitric acid is used for making that explosive substance. And in that one, most probably that one is TNT, trinitrotoluene. Trinitro and here what picture you are observing, that picture is a TNT powder. What is that one here? Powder. It is just like one kind of substance. Next here, that powder is completely made in the form of solid substance. That means here TNT is completely made in the form of solid substance. First, it is present in the powder state. Powder means not powder, just like white hair or otherwise just like crystal, long crystals. And afterwards, it is made in the form of a solid state. Once you see here, just like a jaggery, but it's not a jaggery. Next, the solid is completely placed in the bomb. What is that one bomb? That means here, you know very well, in that movies also they are showing that that means during the war time they're leaving the bombs. So if you are observed that kind of bomb, in that bomb trinitrotoluene is used. What is that one here? Trinitrotoluene. And they are completely leaving that trinitrotoluene on the surface of the earth or otherwise inside the water or otherwise in the air. And anywhere they will live. On that time it causes explosion. Once you see that TNT explosion, bomb explosion, so it is a very dangerous. This TNT bomb is completely made by using the nitric acid. So one more time, see here. First, that is a TNT, trinitrotoluene. So here this TNT is completely prepared by using the nitric acid. This TNT is completely present in that just like a hair-like state. And after that, it is made in the form of solid state. And this solid TNT is completely placed in that bombs. And after that, when that bomb is blasted, it will be like this. Okay, most probably nowadays the terrorists all that are completely using this one only. Next, it is used for making of dye. Here see here total four colors are there. One is a green, second one is red, third one is yellow, fourth one is a blue. So totally four blue colors are there, and these colors are completely known as a dye. So here dye is a one kind of color component. So that color component dye is completely made by nitric acid. That means not single nitric acid. With that nitric acid, they will add so many different kind of chemicals. So here we are discussing about the uses of nitric acid. So that's why here I was telling that nitric acid is useful for making the dye, making the dye. Once you see how it is completely used in the making of dye. Okay, now see here. So here that dye is completely added to that fibers. So if they want the blue color fiber means the blue color dye is completely added to that white color or colorless fiber, and afterwards that one is completely converted into a blue color. Like that, if you want that red color fiber, to that fiber they will add red color dye, which is completely made by a nitric acid. If you want any green color fiber, that means to that fiber just they will add green color dye, and afterwards it is completely converted into a green color fiber. So that colors fibers are completely useful for making that cloth, and by using the cloth they will make dresses, etc. So in this way that nitric acid is completely useful for making the dyes. So this is a dye, different color dyes which contains nitric acid. That means in that color dyes nitric acid little amount is present. Thanks for applying dye to that fibers. So here once you see here different color fibers. By using the fibers, they are making that fabric. That fabric is useful for making dresses, etc. In this way, in this way, nitric acid is useful for making the fibers. That means in this way, it is completely useful for making the dye. Next, once you see the drum. And so many times you are observed the drum. This is a water drum or any drum. It is useful in the so many ways. But actually this one is completely made with a plastic. So when that plastic substances are completely making on the tank compulsory they will add little amount of nitric acid. That means according to that percentage, not full nitric acid. If they want to make that kind of size of drum is full, they are not using that nitric acid. That means certain ratio will be present to that acid. They will add different kinds of substances. So here nitric acid is useful for making the plastic. Next, nitric acid in a solution of alcohol and water be used to attach metals. Here the meaning of attach. Okay, fine. The meaning of attach is nothing but to produce something such as a pattern or design or a hard material by heating into a material surface as by an acid and a laser beam. That is known as what? Etach. One more time I was telling, the meaning of ETCH is nothing but to produce something such as a pattern or design on a hard material by heating into a material surface as by acid or laser beam to subject to such is known as attaching. Here, if you are observe the right side one word is there. TECHSHOP, tech shop. What is that one here? Tech shop. So if you are observe the tech shop, the total area is completely made by a metal. But a tech shop is a one kind of letter designing. So for making that letter designing on that metal, that means while they are making that kind of letter designing on that metal, they are using the nitric acid. So that kind of process is completely known as what? Attach metals. So ETCH, attach metals. Okay. So nitric acid in a solution of alcohol and water can be used to attach metals. It means for making the attach metals, they are not using only nitric acid. With the nitric acid, they are adding alcohol. It means they are using that alcohol and water. But compared to that alcohol and water, mostly they are giving importance to that nitric acid. So nitric acid is used in the preparation of attached metals or making of. Another use of nitric acid is aqua regia. That means in this aqua regia, the gold metal is completely purified. For example, see if any old gold is there, means for purifying that old gold, the persons are going to the gold shop. They are asking to clean the gold. On that time, they are using one chemical substance. That chemical substance is known as aqua regia. In that aqua regia, nitric acid is present, and that another name of this aqua regia is known as royal water. What is that one? Royal water. So this is the use of nitric acid. Next, uses of base. In our surrounding, so many bases are present, but we are discussing only few bases only. In that one, first base is uses of sodium hydroxide or caustic soda. You know very well, sodium hydroxide is a chemical name and caustic soda is a common name, and the chemical form is the sodium hydroxide. What is that one here? Sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. See here, sodium hydroxide is used in the metallurgy. First use it is used in the metallurgy. Second, it is used in the detergents. Third, it is used in the paper making industry. Next, soaps. So here in our surrounding, so many soaps are present. In that soap, most probably we are using the sodium hydroxide, that means caustic soda, which contains a basic nature. Next, another base is calcium hydroxide, slag lime. And here the calcium hydroxide is a chemical name and the slag lime is a common name. And how it is completely useful to us. Let's check it. First, bleaching powder. This bleaching powder is always stop the bad smell. So this bleaching powder is completely prepared by using the calcium hydroxide. Next, for whitewash. For whitewash. Next, the leather industry. For neutralizing acidity of the soil. If you observe that the acidity of the soil will be sometimes will be increases because due to the acid rise. So for neutralizing, that means for decreasing the acidity, we are using that calcium hydroxide and making the salt into fertile. For softening hard water is nothing but the water which comes from that bore. That water is called hard water. Hard water is not suitable for drinking purpose. Hard water is useful for agricultural feed. So for converting that hard water into soft water, here the calcium hydroxide is used. Next, as an insect or pest killer. So here on that agricultural field, so many insects are coming and they are spoiling that one. So for killing that insects, calcium hydroxide is used as a chemical to kill that pest or insect. Next, calcium hydroxide is used in the leather industry. Already you know very well the leather industry is useful for making that chappals and next that handbags. Uses of ammonium hydroxide. This is also one base. The chemical form of ammonium hydroxide is NH4OH. First, as a cleansing agent. Cleansing agent, see here, where this is a Windex. This is one company. And choline. Most probably you know that choline. Why we are using the choline? Choline is used for cleaning the glasses. Most probably. And in that one, ammonium hydroxide chemical will be present. That ammonium hydroxide chemical will remove the dirt or dust which is present on that glass. Next, ammonium hydroxide is useful for making the ammonium salts. That ammonium salts are very important to the agricultural. Okay. Next, for manufacturing the fertilizers. See here, Godavari fertilizer, Nagarjuna fertilizers. So these are the fertilizers. That means they are uh, artificial fertilizers. Okay. So these artificial fertilizers are contains that ammonium hydroxide chemical for manufacture of nitric acid. So by using the different process, the nitric acid is completely prepared from that ammonium hydroxide. Uses of aluminum hydroxide. This is one base. The chemical formula is ALOH thrice. Antacids. You see here gel cell, tempo, ripon, diesel, tums. All these are known as antacids. That means in our body if the acidity is increases. So for decreasing the acidity we are using the antacids. The chemical form of antacid is magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice. So this aluminum hydroxide. Next, aluminum hydroxide is used in the textile industry and use of magnesium hydroxide. Here again, magnesium hydroxide is used as one antacid. Before we are discussed the antacid, this one is completely prepared from the aluminum hydroxide, and this antacid is completely prepared from the magnesium hydroxide, which decreases acidity. Okay, today's assignment. So here today we are discussed about the uses of uses of nitric acid, and next after that uses of base. In that base we discussed the uses of sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, and next in the base we have discussed the uses of calcium hydroxide as alkyl lime, and in base we have discussed the uses of ammonium hydroxide, and in base we have discussed the uses of aluminum hydroxide, and finally we have discussed the base uses of magnesium hydroxide. So finally acids bases uses are completed, and the assignment is write the uses of nitric acid and write any four uses of base. So this is today's topic. Thank you to all. Have a nice day. Enjoy.